Robert Downey Jr. is back in the MCU, but here's the catch. He's not playing Tony Stark. He's playing Doctor Doom.
The one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
So what's up people, welcome back to Hollywood Breakdowns, and I'm your friendly Hollywood Breakdowner, Prajeth. And in this video, we are going to be talking about RDJ's return as Doctor Doom in the MCU.
What can I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
Okay, so we've all heard this and we've been losing our heads in it, but let's be real. Marvel loves bringing back familiar faces.
I'm a really good lawyer.
And the past few phases have proven that.
Hello, Peter.
But this begs the question if this is a brilliant casting choice or if it's just another act of fan service. And more importantly, is this a good or bad thing? Because recently, with the movies that Marvel has been coming up with, we cannot trust Kevin Feige to give us a good movie because look at Phase 4 and 5. The only good movies we've gotten so far is Guardians of the Galaxy and No Way Home. And if you want to lower the bar a bit and ask for mid or decent movies, Multiverse of Madness, I don't see anything wrong in the plot points. It's just that it could have been handled better.
We should tell him the truth.
So this shows that we can't really trust Kevin Feige, even though he has been giving us good movies in the first 3 phases. The past few phases, his choices have been debatable, and for the Russo brothers do well because of Kevin Feige, because they used to be showrunners and they just work well in shows because everything is done out for them. There's many people writing the scripts for each episode, they just direct. So when it comes to filmmaking, okay, after Endgame, they did 3 movies. Cherry, which starred Tom Holland, but seeing from the reviews, I hear it's a very stupid and unnecessary movie. Then after that, they had Grey Man, which I have watched. I mean, if you look at the cast, you would probably watch it as well. Chris Evans as the main villain, and it had Ryan Gosling and Ana de Armas as the main leads, and it wasn't as good as I expected it to be, but it was decent. Their third movie is coming out, I think. Has it already come out? I don't know. It's called The Electric State, and it stars Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown, but it debuted on Rotten Tomatoes with 10% from the critics. That is lower than Morbius, so you might want to think about that. The Russos don't work well alone. I think this is something everybody can agree on, that they work better in a team scenario. So for Doomsday, it is a team scenario, and even RDJ is giving his inputs on the story. He's working on it as well. I think we can expect a good film, but everyone still has concerns. It's actually quite concerning to see Marvel in such a state. Cameos are nothing new to the MCU, okay? They have been in the MCU since day one. In the post-credit scenes of the first Iron Man movie back in 2008, Nick Fury cameoed and he'll be kind of recruiting Tony Stark. So it's not new to the MCU, but cameos in the form of nostalgia bait and fan service is new to the MCU. Fan service as a whole is not new to the MCU. We've been seeing it happen in like major crossover movies. They would replicate iconic moments from the comics on the big screen, but even then, those scenes will be crucial to the plot of the movie. They won't just be placed there to please fans. So one such example would be the iconic scene from Civil War where Iron Man blasts into Captain America's shield towards the end of the movie. And that was actually a comic cover. It was exactly the same. And another one would be Gladiator Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. That was also straight out of the comics. But these weren't just for fans. They were part of the story. They made sense. But these days, we are getting fan service moments that do not add anything to the plot. They were just being placed there for the box office pull. And they could have been easily avoided from the film because they didn't matter.
Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four.
Okay, so coming to the nostalgia bait side of things, Marvel has been playing the nostalgia card for quite some time now. Bringing back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in No Way Home, that was pure nostalgia bait, but it was done right. It gave us an emotional payoff and it didn't feel cheap. Because in the movie, there are scenes where Andrew and Tobey talk to each other, and then Andrew is like, he's lame, and Tobey is like, you're amazing. Don't say that, you're amazing.
Say that again?
Editor, please say that again in this clip, yeah. Because he's the amazing Spider-Man and Tobey said he's amazing, so say that again, yeah. And another cool payoff was Andrew finally getting redemption because he saves Zendaya's character when she was about to fall to her death, and we all know how the Amazing Spider-Man 2 ended. It ended with Gwen Stacy's death, and him saving Zendaya was a great payoff. So those kind of scenes made their characters important and not just there for fans to shout in the theater. Okay, speaking of nostalgia bit, we definitely have to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. They just threw in a ton of cameos, like those Fox era heroes like Hugh Jackman came back. People like Jennifer Garner as Elektra and Wesley Snipes back as Blade.
There's only been one Blade. There's only ever going to be one Blade.
Those were good. Those were good.
I'm Marvel Jesus, you dull creature, and I will not.
And also, they made it logical because all these characters were in the Void, and the Void, anyone could be anything there. So bringing them back like that was just an easy option, and they did it. But fan service, that's different. Fan service is when the studio throws in some actor because the fans asked for it. Think about John Krasinski's portrayal of Reed Richards in Doctor Strange 2. Guy shows up, the fans cheer, and then he gets spaghettified. What's the point? What's the point? No payoff, no deeper meaning. I personally wanted John Krasinski to play our main timeline Reed Richards. Whenever it got announced that Pedro Pascal is playing Mr. Fantastic, I was disappointed. But look at the new team. Every single one of them is not who I asked for. I'm gonna be honest, I hated it until the teaser came out. Man, Pedro Pascal cooked.
As a family.
If you haven't seen my teaser reaction, you should go watch that. Those 4 people are perfect for the role and I'm loving it. They are fantastic. Yeah, say that again. Say that again now. They are fantastic.
Say that again?
So, coming back to fan service, if RDJ as Doom is just another one of those fan service gimmicks, then that's just going to be disappointing. And that's why everyone is concerned. So now let's look at the bright side. Since RDJ is playing a Doom variant that's only going to be appearing for the Multiverse Saga, then that's it. We are not going to see him again. That's fine. But what if he's playing a Tony Stark variant that didn't end up being Iron Man but chose to become Doom? Another possibility could be that he's a reality-hopping villain who thinks he can save the multiverse by ruling it. Oh wait, that sounds familiar. That's what He Who Remains thought he should do.
If you think I'm evil, just wait till you meet my variants.
Also, one doubt I have is that why would you cast an expensive actor as a villain who's going to be masked 80% of the time? Like, the only time he's not going to be masked is when you show his origin story, which is probably not going to happen. So, I don't see why they had to cast Robert Downey Jr. in it, but I have a theory. Recently, Robert Downey Jr. came out saying that he actually rejected Christopher Nolan's offer to act in The Odyssey, which is an upcoming movie. It's actually releasing between Doomsday and Spider-Man 4. And Robert Downey Jr. said no because he has to film for Doomsday. So basically, these 2 movies are going to be filming side by side. And Tom Holland is also playing a role in The Odyssey. And of course, Spider-Man is also going to be in Doomsday. So there were reports saying that Spider-Man will be filmed using a double. So my question is, when Tom Holland can do that, why did Robert Downey Jr. decide to reject Nolan's offer when his character is supposed to be masked the entire time? So this shows us that Doom will not be masked at least half of the time. And of course, they have to do at least one scene with the Avengers seeing his face and then saying, wait, aren't you Iron Man? And also another thing is that recently I was watching the Spider-Man animated series from 1994. In the final season, there are 3 episodes on Secret Wars. That was like one of the only adaptations of Secret Wars on digital media. They do show Doom in those episodes, and Doom actually says that he invented this machine that helps him control his ability to become Doom and human. So I think they might be following the same thing in Doomsday, maybe like a updated version of that, so that Robert Downey Jr. still retains his normal face and he can show off that charisma, you know? That Tony Stark energy. But if Doom feels like a Tony Stark with a different metal mask this time, then it's going to feel like a fan service overload.
New mask, same task.
And that won't work. Like, look at She-Hulk. That show was a cameo fest packed with fan service moments like Daredevil showing up, Hulk introducing his son, and then so many fourth wall breaks. But where did it get the show to? People hate that show, and especially those fourth wall breaks. They were worse than Nice Ball in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Ah, that's funny. I can gently tap the 4th wall too. The proposal. What the was that? Do you think that's what I do?
So cameo fests are definitely not the key to a 2 or 3 billion box office collection. But then we have Deadpool and Wolverine, which was another cameo fest, but that earned more than $1 billion at the box office. Why? Because those cameos had roles in the film. Daphne Keene's X-23 motivated that Wolverine variant to become better.
You were always the wrong guy. Till you weren't.
And Blade and Elektra got one final fight, and they had some interesting dialogues as well. Like, there was this meta commentary on how Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds had some conflicts during the shoot of Blade Trinity.
I don't like you.
You never did.
Chris Evans' cameo was also fan service, but the way Deadpool handled it, he thought it was a Captain America variant.
Oh my god, he's gonna say it. Say what?
Avengers!
Flame on!
Sorry, what now?
That was funny. Channing Tatum as Gambit was also fine because he's been waiting a long time to do it.
They call me the Gambit.
Do they? Are you sure you didn't just really want them to, but it never quite worked out?
And his portrayal was also funny, so it was a fun thing to watch.
I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Who is your dialect coach? The Minions?
Then come the Deadpool core. Ryan's wife Blake Lively was playing Lady Pool, and his kids played Kid Pool and Baby Pool. We had Hunter B-15 reprising her role from the Loki series. She's now the head of the TVA, so she had to be there when one of her workers were messing with time, so that was interesting. And this is fan service done right.
Suck it, Fox. I'm going to Disneyland.
And heck, the whole anchor being thing in Deadpool and Wolverine was actually a meta commentary on how franchises fall off after their main character dies. Just like how the MCU is going downhill ever since Iron Man's death in Endgame. And that is definitely the reason why Marvel came up with bringing RDJ back.
Disney brought him back. They're going to make him do this till he's 90.
And that's fine. But here's where it could horribly go wrong. If Kevin Feige is just throwing RDJ in as Doom because Marvel is desperate to win back fans, then that's when it becomes a joke. It would mean that Marvel isn't confident in their new characters and isn't willing to let go of their past, and they're just relying on cheap tricks rather than good storytelling. So what's the takeaway? If RDJ as Doom is just a short, fun, nostalgia-bait character, then that's totally fine. It fits the Secret Wars hype, gives the fans a cool version of Doom played by the greatest actor in Hollywood, and it also doesn't ruin the real Doctor Doom's MCU debut.
Find the real one.
Ouch.
No offense.
But if it's a lazy move just to sell tickets, then it's forced fan service at its worst. I remember when we all wanted Tom Cruise to cameo as Superior Iron Man in Multiverse of Madness. But at this point, I would much rather have Robert Downey Jr. play Superior Iron Man than having him play the strongest version of Doom that has weak writing. We do not have enough movies to do the Doom story, because Phase 5 would end with Thunderbolts and Ironheart, and Phase 6 is starting with Fantastic Four. Then immediately with a few shows, we are going to Doomsday, and then we are having Spider-Man after that. Hopefully Spider-Man 4 fills in the gaps between No Way Home and Doomsday. But what I'm hearing is that Spider-Man 4 will take place in Better World, so I don't know what they're going to do with that. Hopefully they don't mess it up. And also, looking at how desperate they are, I won't even be surprised if Scarlett Johansson is returning, but as Captain Carter. So yeah, but what do you think? Would RDJ as Doom be awesome, or is Marvel just getting desperate? Either way, let's hope that Marvel's planning team has a strategy more thought out than Doctor Strange's 1 in a 14 million plan. Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. This is Prajeth signing off. Goodbye.
You either die a hero,
I am Iron Man.
or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
New mask. Same task.
He has risen, baby girl.
Fuck!